Допускаю. Это наше время, мы можем его использовать, как мы хотим. Какой? Mobility павильон? Sustainability. Ну, да, окей. Dear participants, I would like to thanks to everyone who are here for supporting me and our efforts in um, showing the initiatives we are taking to promote environmental education in Uzbekistan. So today's session, I would like to start with introduction of the Green University, the initiative put forward by our president. You know that in the region we have issues with the professional development in the field of environmental education. To fill up this gap, the government put some efforts, and we now have in our hands three legislative documents. One is the presidential decree, presidential resolution, and two presidential decrees. So the university is a state higher educational institution, and the activities of which are originated according to the hub and spoke principles. So for those who doesn't know what does it mean to have like a hub and spoke model, it is when the university serves as a hub that connects with the various spokes, and the spokes are various institutions, organizations around Central Asia and in the country. So because the university now within the Ministry of Ecology, and within the ministry before that, we had the research institutions devoted to ecology, hydrometeorology, and forestry. All these research institutions now under the university, Green University. In addition, we are adding the Center for Ethnoecology, and then we're looking for partners and partner institutions and organizations. And I'm proud to say that we established strong network with University of Michigan and University of Zurich, Switzerland, University of Zurich. So what's the competitive advantage of the university is that it's unique hub and spoke model where university serves as a hub of knowledge and expertise, helps to optimize resources for partners and universities, and to develop a vast network of partners. We also have joint programs with leading universities, as I mentioned before, and the strategic partnership with recognizable education brands in the provision of joint programs. Programs with the most in-demand jobs in the labor market, because of the gap in the environmental field, we need the expertise, and this is where we see the increase in the in the positions in the employers that are looking for employees in the environmental field. And then we have the system that supports every student because it's a state university. We will provide a system of grants and scholarships for our students. So the main objectives of the university are to develop, to adapt and implement programs in the environmental field, to train capacities, to train the experts, and improve the, working capacity. To do the research and development. As I mentioned, we have forestry institution, the hydrometeorology institution, and the ecology. Those are the leading research institutions in the country that are within the university. Yes, please. So the degrees were released in May 31st. We didn't have the university itself. We started building it. So the Enrollment for the university ends December 15th for the students. We're still accepting the applicants. Oh, as I mentioned, within the university, we do have the research institution of ecology, research institution of forestry and hydrometeorology now. So those research institutions, they provide, with R&D, they already provide with R&D, with the development. And this is where I will go, like in the next slides, where I will explain a little bit more. So as I mentioned, the university has serves as a model hub and spoke, so we're very interested in hub. But the hub could be, for now, it could be the ministry, because from the ministry we bring the functions of the research institutions like the Institute of Ecology, Institute of Forestry. But once we build the university, once it got its own building, its own structure working, then we transfer most of the work that we do at the ministry to the university, and we just control over the university. Is it clear?
So it's going to be functioning for the ministry. So doing the analytical work, like.
Yeah. The university is supposed to be a think tank. It's supposed to be, a leading research institution, a leading educational institution in the field of environment, because it's under the Ministry of Ecology. It's been, very taken care of, and there is a lot of efforts put into developing programs, developing network, developing curriculum for the students.
And you said that it is going to become a hub for different organizations and everything as well. So those organizations will come and unite you once again. Right? So or what else? Are they gonna develop some sort of programs in there and then implement them later on, or how's it gonna work?
So it depends. It depends to the main objectives of those organizations, of those projects that they bring in. We do implement multiple projects through our research institutions, but we do expect also collaborative work with like universities that are outside of the country, in order to, for example, to exchange the students, to increase the capacity of the professors and trainers.
Okay, thank you.
So we also would like to make sure that the university can self-sustain, and we won't put too much into, having it, like too much efforts, too much money into like sustaining. We would like to have some the self-sustaining university. And as I mentioned, we would like to have recognition as one of the leading institutions in the region. So if we look at the academic programs, it's a basic foundation year, a 3-year bachelor's degree, and 2 years master degree. For the masters, we have environmental law, environmental journalism, sustainable development, sustainable finance. For the undergraduate students, we have environmental and sustainable management, environmental and economics, ecology, and public administration. As this is about the question you asked me before about the research and development institutions that we have. So since the university is not fully functional right now, we rely heavily on research institutions that are working with other organizations to provide, a feedback of our efforts, of our inputs. And this is where it comes to, to the services that the university can provide, like environmental management. We can align we can offer the alignment of the project with the national agenda and national legislation. We can also do like a sustainable entrepreneurship, where we have very, innovative students working with those research institutions and they develop, or they just can transfer knowledge from somewhere outside to the country and display. And then we have the service enhancement, where we modernize existing services. For example, right now we're working on EIA law. I mean, to say that environmental impact assessment, we're trying to review it and align it with the global standards. But all those researches, all this work is done under the agenda of the university, because like all these institutions are now in the structure of the university. So this is how we function now. But after the enrollment finishes, after we get some students, after the field initiation structure, then we can talk about developing the experts in like undergraduate and graduate students. Well, on that, I would like to, if you have any questions, please ask.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be one last question. So you said that the enrollment is till 15th of December, and I want to ask an honest question, and I want an honest answer. So is there a demand for? God, there is a demand. Is this green university or those majors popular within young people? Because as I know, many young people, many students in Uzbekistan, I feel like when they graduate from 11th grade, the first thought that comes to their mind might be accountant, might be doctor, might be something else. But ecology, for example, as there are ecology and finance, ecology and public administration. So how relevant are those among young people?
So to promote, I understand, I totally understand your question. This summer we had like a EcoFest in Telman Park, where we had a fair of the jobs offered to the specialists in the environmental field. We had companies like KPMG coming, PwC, the big consultants, in addition to all the IFIs like a World Bank, ADB, ABRD, they were all open for people who would display some passion to environment and knowledge of the field, and we would like. So the problem in the country, I see the way that those fields are not so popular among people because they don't see how cool it is to be there in those fields. But once we show them, and this is my belief, that once we can show them how important is it that they can contribute to the nature, contribute to the clean air, contribute to their country, and then at the same time their job will be interesting and not so boring like a accountant's job, for example, and be more about hiking, exploring the biodiversities, going to like Antarctica, going to up to the mountains, and at the same time earning same rate as other professionals. I think this will be very in demand among students.
And how many applications have you received till this day, if there is any statistics?
Okay, so the university, we identified the quote for the students for 100 students, out of which 20 probably master students and 80 undergraduate students. Till today, I believe around 100 applicants we have.
Good, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And with that, I think I would like to invite our next presenter. No? No, I think it's, yeah, we can put those. Let's put the short videos. Okay. Yeah, we can put the short videos about how that display the process of development of the national and regional environmental education strategy, right? Thank you.
Я тогда, конечно.
Да, не движение. Ты поставь. Тут вообще по-другому сейчас не должно работать. Да, есть.
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon, dear ladies and gentlemen. We, eco-activists from Uzbekistan, are honored to represent our Central Asian region today at this event. Today, we want to present the measures our countries together have taken to promote green education and involve young people in addressing climate issues, especially the regional strategy, which is a key decision for achieving sustainability for future of the young generation.
So before going to the strategy, I want to once again remind about the video. So it highlights the event, the important initiative that has laid the ground for the further creation of the strategy. I hope you can see me behind this thing. I'm quite short. So the thing is, our country has taken the first step that I would say drastically changed the cooperation between young people in the region, because we hosted the very first youth eco camp, which laid the foundation for the creation of our strategy. And this event, it united young people from all of our Central Asian countries. Those are Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and Turkmenistan. And their young people had an opportunity to collaborate with experts, to exchange their initiatives, and mainly brainstorm their ideas and outline the objectives for this strategy.
The regional strategy for promoting culture of sustainable development and involving children and youth of Central Asian countries in the climate change agenda reflects the voices of young people and children from Central Asia. The objectives of this strategy were carefully outlined by eco-activists. In November 2023, it was signed by the representatives of governments of 5 Central Asian countries during the International Forum, Children and Youth in Action Climate Change in Central Asia, dedicated to World Children's Day, as you have seen in video.
Yes, and before going to the actual strategy, we would like to encourage all of our partners to keep up the activity of this eco camp in the future, because it created a platform that united young people, and we want to have this platform present in our activity so that we could exchange our ideas and to raise our voice at any time, at any, I would say, circumstance.
This strategic document consists of 4 sections. Those are children's rights to a healthy environment, increasing the meaningful participation of children and youth on climate change issues, strengthening the potential of children and youth through continuous green education, and the formation of environmental culture, ensuring compliance of education policies at the preschool and school levels with sustainable development goals.
So now we want to speak on the behalf of young people of Central Asia, and it is actually a great responsibility and great honor. As you have seen in the video, those were our partners, our friends, our the people who worked along with us on creating the strategy. And today we're really happy to be speaking on behalf of this community to present you the ideas of our strategy.
We, the youth from Central Asia, want our parents to be well informed about climate change and its impact on our health and development, and to take action on fostering an environment for each of us to learn, development, and reach our full potential, having had the changing realities taken into account. We want the governments of Central Asian countries to jointly create a fund for supporting youth initiatives, which will provide expertise and technical and financial assistance throughout the implementation of national and regional environmental projects in various areas. We want enterprise in Central Asia to pursue green policies to preserve the region's limited natural resources and environment.
And for you to understand the relevance of those points that we outlined, I want to ask a question. So I want you to remember your parents or your grandparents or people who live in your neighborhood and ask yourself a question. Do those people actually know about the ecology? For example, oftentimes we do simple things like forgetting to turn off the water when we're brushing our teeth, or we'll leave the lights on, or we just throw away a piece of trash thinking it's just one thing, it won't matter. And a lot of people have this mindset, and a lot of parents are actually not educated enough on the topic of ecological sustainability. Because if we think of our parents or if we think about our neighbors, a lot of them actually don't care. They think that ecology is not important, and they think that it is not, it shouldn't be a point of their concern. And we do understand that along with having all of the responsibilities of adulthood, we still think that preserving ecology is an important step for our further development. So we want to empower children and youth, including the most vulnerable, to actively participate in important environmental decisions through certain measures that we came up with. So first one is creation of youth committees under the ministries of ecology, which would mean that young people, the active the young people who are eco activists, to be part of the youth committees that would actually provide, as it is written in the second point, if you may, that would provide teenagers with the opportunity to vote for or comment on draft legislation and environmental programs. And I would say actually our country has already taken their steps into implementing those points, because there is a youth committee in our country, as His Excellency, our minister, mentioned previously. And our country is providing the opportunity for us to be a part of the climate change decision making, because our proposals laid ground for the declaration on the youth and children, and our voices also laid the basis for this regional strategy that was signed by our countries, and the creation of a regional communication platform for youth. So for us to be able to talk to our peers and to discuss those climate issues that we have to address together, this platform would be crucial for our further cooperation.
And we want the government to encourage environmental activism among young people. For that, we suggest financing youth environmental projects and ideas, providing grants and awards to young researchers and innovators, considering eco-volunteering activity in the process of admission to universities or employment, and providing opportunities for internship in state environmental organizations. We want eco-education and green skills to be embedded in all secondary education curriculums.
We want to start developing children's green skills from an early age using those approaches. The first one is involving young people who have gained experience and knowledge through the volunteer activities to teach children. So, there are two types of relationships. So there's a horizontal one and vertical one. So vertical one is when a person from above tries to convey the information down. So it's usually when parents talk to their kids, or let's say an adult talks to a child, which actually is an effective method, but even more effective method is the horizontal one, when a peer talks to a peer, which is why we believe that if young people explain young people the main, the relevance of those problems, it would be easier for those children to understand and to take the responsibility, because the influence that the children have on each other is actually a quite powerful tool that I think we have to utilize. And another one is introducing green corners in kindergartens of our countries, and popularization of cartoons with environmental messages. So those, we believe, will be able to reach our little kids' consciousness and teach them those ecological sustainable practices from an early age, without adding up any sort of complicated information that would probably be a little complicated for them to comprehend at such young age. So this method of delivery, we believe, would be effective.
And we want to start developing children's green skills from an early age using the following approaches: involving young people who have gained experience.
It's this slide. I already mentioned that before. Is this
okay. Involving young people who have gained experience and knowledge through volunteer activity in teaching children. Introduction of green corners in kindergartens, as was mentioned. And we want to involve community leaders, local governments, spiritual leaders, and civil activists and popular people to promote environmental culture among the youth and population.
So we want, you can go for it. So we want the states to support youth environment startups in every possible way by involving youth development of IoT solutions based on artificial intelligence. So once again, we believe that in actually co-speakers mentioned about an initiative that a guy from Navoi, he developed this tool that helps to seed forests in the dry regions. And this initiative was actually funded by government, and now it is helping to fight deforestation, and it is greening the territory. So we believe that young people have created creative approaches to even the most simple problems. So funding their startups and helping them and encouraging them to act upon their ideas and develop them further, we believe would be a great measure in preserving our ecology.
So youth from Central Asia want to be able to understand the information and to be able to gain knowledge. We want information to be accessible and understandable to all children and young people. We need inclusivity of information to create an opportunity for every child to understand the sense of global environmental problems and propose their own solutions.
Now for this one, this is the very last one, and I would like to provide an example from my personal experience. So as we mentioned at the forum, at the Eco Forum, the children were divided into groups. So my group, I was a volunteer and sort of coordinator of one of the groups. And there I had people from among Central Asia. And in my group, there were two beautiful girls, but they had problems in communicating their ideas because they couldn't hear well and they couldn't speak well. So they had to share this ground with young people from Tajikistan, from Kyrgyzstan, from Uzbekistan, and there they had to establish this communication, and they conveyed a problem that has actually been, concerning them for a while. And this initiative comes from them. Often when we watch those, let's say videos that include information about ecological disasters or the information provided within books, it is often not accessible for children with disabilities, because when you watch the video but you can't hear the message, or let's say there is a video but you can't see it and it delivers no message, so there are a lot of problems with the accessibility of this information that we are providing to them. So we believe that this information should be accessible for every single child. It should be adapted to their needs, and only then we will be able, as I said, to reach not to their minds, but to speak to their hearts. And I feel like speaking to a heart is a closer way of reaching our goal and, raising a new generation of young people who would be quite aware of those problems and who would actually care for the world around them. Now, this regional strategy
This regional strategy is the first step for a regional cooperation in Central Asia among youth towards a greener future. We, the youth of Central Asia, want to be active stakeholders in the process of addressing environmental problems.
Yes.
Our decisions determine our future.
Thank you very much for your attention.
Yes, and this was really an impressive presentation by our presenters, Ruxora and Delmarot. Thank you very much for your time, for your efforts you put in. And you know what? I have something to share, actually. Today was also another good news. One more good news that the Ministry of Ecology of Uzbekistan have signed the memorandum with the Potsdam Institute for Climate Impact Research, PIC, right? That marks a significant step in climate research and policy. Collaborations like this involving esteemed organizations with diverse global staff and expertise in complex system analysis, data integration, and numerical simulations are crucial in advancing our understanding of climate change. PIC's commitment to publishing in top-tier journals and its active role in providing insights to policymakers, businesses, and societies aligns perfectly with the goal of the ministry. This partnership should foster innovative solutions and informed decisions, contributing to a safer and more sustainable future. It's a powerful example of how science and policy can work together effectively for the betterment of our world. And this is okay. And I would like to invite for a word the project manager of the from the PIC Research Institution, Stephanie. Please welcome to the stage. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much for this kind introduction. First of all, I want to congratulate our youth representatives here. You're both rock stars. Fantastic presentation. And it really gives me hope to see how active you are. The video was fabulous, almost made me cry. So thank you so much. And hopefully we've also tried to, in past workshops that we've given in the region, we also try to invite some youth delegates. Hopefully we can exchange contacts, and hopefully at some point we're also happy to have you. And also that's something maybe in terms of internships, not just to look at regional internships, but we're also happy to exchange students between the regions, between Central Asia and Germany. Anyways, moving on to the other topic, of course, we're also very excited to have signed the MOU today with the ministry, and from PIC side, certainly what we do is climate modeling, hydrological modeling, but we also look at what are the cascading impacts down the road, what are the impacts on health, what are the impacts on the economy, what are the impacts on peace and conflict. And so it's really important for us to have reliable local partners, and certainly I think this can be really valuable cooperation between the ministry and the Potsdam Institute. And yes, other than that, I think we're definitely happy to have some workshops in the future. I think within our project, the Green Central Asia project, which is funded by the German Foreign Ministry, I think the German ministry has really committed. We've been long-term partners, but the German Federal Foreign Office and the government also has really committed to the cooperation with Central Asia. And we're super happy to see all this activity regarding Central Asia here at COP, but also at the Berlin Climate Security Conference the past year. We also had a panel just on Central Asia. So it also shows that there's more and more interest on this region. And yeah, we're happy that we can contribute to knowledge production, but also really through this exchange with the Ministry of Ecology, for example, but also all of our other local partners. It's not just the knowledge transfer in one direction. You know, we get as much out of this. And I think this is really, really important to also say that it's really knowledge sharing in all directions. And I think that's something that we're looking forward to continuing. And yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for this brief description. And I think this is an excellent example of science-led policy development. And on that note, I would like to invite to the stage the advisor to the minister, Ms. Suna Pak. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. And my special gratitude goes to those who are staying here for the last session and for the last days of COP. But as the minister mentioned today, it really is one of those important days that we are having today. I think one very important milestone that we haven't mentioned is the establishment of Central Asian University of Environmental and Climate Change Studies, which is an important commitment of the government to show how much environmental education is needed and also fostered in Uzbekistan. So what we've signed today with PIC, and I was quite impressed with the level of research and expertise that we were able to see during our visit. It will also spill over to the university. And we really hope that through our joint collaboration, we will be able to grow new generation of professionals and fill the gap which happened after for a certain period of time. We did have a gap in knowledge and expertise when it came to climate change. So once again, thank you very much. I'd like to thank our activists and thank you to our guests who were able to join us today and exchange some of the knowledge and hear our presentations and appreciate the efforts that the government is making in green education. So thank you very much. With this, I will conclude the session and I wish you a very pleasant evening. Thank you.